Breaking news coming out of nationwide 911 outages taking place in various states. Now, originally we had heard that these were not cyber attacks. Now we're hearing articles coming out saying that they actually were cyber attacks, as millions have been left without emergency services. Outages followed warnings of cyber attacks on 911 services. Las Vegas, South Dakota, towns in Texas, Nebraska, various locations hit. I'm going to be covering the details for you so you can know exactly what has unfolded here, as information was coming out that these outages had nothing to do with cyber attacks. They believe that there was issues with wires or cables being cut. Now it's coming out more recently saying it actually might be cyber attacks, as they are investigating what is unfolding here. And there's major concern, as we've heard warnings of cyber attacks coming to the United States. So I'm going to be sharing with you the latest on this, as this is trending, and I'm going to give you the details. I'm also going to cite for you the original articles that came out from NBC News, which said that law enforcement agencies across 4 various states were left scrambling following reports of major 911 outages. And they were saying originally that they believed that it had nothing to do with cyber attacks. No indication that the outages were caused by cyber attacks or any malicious acts. Law enforcement had originally said on Thursday today. Now articles coming out with updates saying no, likely caused by cyber attacks. Millions left without these emergency services. Now, let me know your thoughts. We have conflicting information. One is updated saying more recently that they believe it was. Do you think that this was likely a cyber attack that was hit, or do you think it was not? Let me know your thoughts. One saying it was, another one previously, they originally said that it was not. And are you concerned with this? We've heard warnings from FBI Director Wray that there is major concerns for cyber attacks, various infrastructure systems in the United States that are compromised at this moment, and essentially could wreak havoc on the United States. We're hearing that this is the plan of these cyber criminals to essentially orchestrate a coordinated attack to shut down infrastructure systems and capabilities across the United States simultaneously. Now, this also coming after we had that breach with AT&T not too long ago, a couple months ago, as they were saying millions impacted by that as well. AT&T sending out to its customers stuff to mitigate the potential of identity theft, all the issues that could come with these cyber attacks and information being leaked across the dark web. So let me know your thoughts. A lot of people saying yes, they believe that this was a cyber attack. Some people saying it was a system overload. Various articles coming out on this. I'm going to be sharing with you both of these. The one that came out originally that said it was not, and then I'm going to dive into the details of the one that is saying that they now have updated information saying they believe it likely was caused by a cyber attack. Now, do me a favor. I see we've got 879 people on with me live. Please hit that like button. It helps spread this out further, so that way people can get more updates as to what is going on. All the information is cited, linked in the description with the articles suggesting now that this was a cyber attack, and the original saying that it was not, as we're having various states going down with their 911 services today, April the 18th, 2024. So hit that like button for me. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And also resources available for you. If we have power outages, communications go down, various free resources for you. And also, if you're somebody that has a loved one, or you yourself are depending on medications and you need extras, we also have lifesavervault.com pinned in the comments for you as well. So that way you don't have to be scared. You can be prepared for everything that is taking place. So again, do me a favor, hit that like button. I see we've got 972 people on with me live, and I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. So first, let's take a look at this one that came out from NBC News that says major 911 outages in 4 states leave millions without a way to contact local authorities today. Lumen Technologies said that some customers experienced outages when a third-party company physically cut our cables while installing a light pole. Now, they're saying they cut the cables. However, we're hearing that 4 different states across the nation went down. And originally they were saying there appeared to be no malicious activity, but now we're hearing something different. So let me share with you this one that came out earlier today that says law enforcement agencies across 4 states were left scrambling following reports of major 911 outages that saw millions unable to contact authorities late Wednesday. Many of the outages reported in Nebraska, Nevada, South Dakota, and Texas were restored by the late evening. Now, so far, there's no indication that the outages were caused by a cyber attack or other malicious acts. law enforcement officials told NBC News on Thursday. Now, while the Federal Communications Commission continues to investigate, the outages appear to be related to the Lumens Technologies, a spokesperson for the communications and telecom company said. Now, on Wednesday, some customers in Nevada, South Dakota, Nebraska, and even parts of Texas, they experienced outages when a third-party company unrelated to Lumens physically cut our fiber, and while we were installing a light pole, the company's spokesperson said. We restored all of the services in approximately 2.5 hours, he said. Lumen doesn't provide 911 services in Texas. So there's a little bit of conflicting information here. They're cutting the wire, but then all of these are going down. Texas, not related to this, but also having these interruptions as well. Our techs identified the issue and worked hard to fix it as quickly as possible, he said. We apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate our customers' patience and understanding. Wednesday's outages come on the heels of a widespread AT&T outage in February that left thousands without service across multiple states and impacted some of the calls to 911 for hours, which the carrier said was likely caused by a processing error, not a cyber attack. And we have a lot of people saying it was otherwise. And now AT&T customers receiving cybersecurity and making sure that they don't get any identity theft. But they're saying it was not a cyber attack. Now, local law enforcement agencies on Wednesday reported a full statewide outage in the entire state of South Dakota shortly before 7 p.m. local time. Rapid City Police offered locals alternatives, phone numbers to call for first responders, and services were restored after about 2 hours later. The South Dakota Department of Public Safety said Wednesday evening that the texting to 911 is operating in most locations as the option to contact authorities is there for texting. Man, let me know your thoughts. It's pretty incredible. What if you need to call 911 during the time that it's out for a span of 2 hours? They're not available. You have to text them. You have to use some alternative means to contact them for emergency services. That is pretty incredible. Now, again, this happened in Nebraska, South Dakota, Nevada, parts of Texas. And let me go ahead and share with you this article that came out with an update on this, as they're saying that here's another one. This is linked in the description as well. 911 outage in Nevada, South Dakota, Texas, and Nebraska, likely caused by cyber attacks as millions left without emergency services. Outages followed warnings about cyber attacks on 911 services. Las Vegas, South Dakota, Townsend, Texas, and Nebraska all have been hit. 911 services are restored, but cause not uncovered. A mass cyber attack is suspected to have caused a 911 outage that hit 4 states across the country, leaving millions without emergency assistance. Cities as big as Las Vegas, as well as the entire state of South Dakota and locales in Texas and Nebraska announced the outages on Wednesday night. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, they have warned of increased risks of cyber attacks on 911 services as they have migrated to digital systems. Now, an analysis compiled by the agency and published by ABC News just hours before the outages, they outlined concerns of how emergency services can be exploited by sensitive data or for sensitive data. The bulletin said that ransomware attacks have disrupted the networks of police departments and 911 call center operations in the past. Now, also, it says the bulletin added, cybercriminal exploitation of data stolen during ransomware attacks against the emergency services sector, or the ESS, likely poses a persistent criminal threat due to the exposure and availability of victims' personal information. The DHS said that once stolen, potentially sensitive personal information, including police records, could be leaked, sold, and also used to facilitate other crimes like extortion or identity theft. Additionally, you have to have a lot of resources devoted to addressing this, and it can also prevent us from doing investigations. Officials in South Dakota, Nevada, and Las Vegas said 911 services have been restored, but have yet to identify the official cause of this failure. In Las Vegas specifically, no estimate was initially given after an outage wiped out landlines and mobile phones connectively to the crucial 911 number. Authorities asked for the callers not to test out the phone lines while they were while they try and get services back up amid fears that unreported crimes may be taking place. Nearby Henderson, Nevada, was also facing 911 outages, but various other emergency services were still running. The entire state of South Dakota, Dundee County, Kearney County, Howard County, Fremont County, Nebraska, as well as Del Rio, Texas, they were also affected as well. The emergency mobile number to get a hold of the police, ambulance, the fire services, they were not connected to the call centers for many hours throughout the entire night. Wow. Let me know your thoughts. It's pretty wild having 911 services not available for several hours, being disconnected. Originally, as I shared with you, we had an article that came out from NBC News saying that they did not believe there was malicious activity here. However, as we were reading the article, as I mentioned, some of the things didn't quite add up, as they were saying that a fiber cable was cut, yet it took down the services of 3 different states, also a 4th state going down. But they said that state, they did not provide 911 services. So how did that state go down? And now we're hearing that these articles coming out saying that it actually looks like it was a cyber attack. Police urge the public to call alternative numbers if they needed help. So don't call 911. What number should they call? In South Dakota, one county did say that the text message to 911 did appear to still be going through. Others suggested that members of the public needing help ought to call 911 on a mobile device and wait for the services to actually call you back. In Las Vegas and in South Dakota, police announced just after 10 p.m. local time that the services had been restored following a 3-hour outage. John Cohan, the former intelligence chief at the DHS and now a contributor for ABC, said, whereas cyber attacks were once considered to be a technology issue, today they are considered a threat to the very operations of law enforcement and other public safety agencies. Wow. So we're actually hearing this from the intelligence chief of the Department of Homeland Security in regards to what has unfolded. John Cohan saying, whereas cyber attacks were once considered a technology issue, today they're considered a threat to the very operations of law enforcement and other public safety agencies. Robert Boyce, another contributor for the outlet and retired chief of detectives with the NYPD, said for a police department, for a fire department, or emergency services to be hijacked in this way, it's a big problem for public safety. Wow, sounding like they are confirming that they believe that this was in fact a cyber attack. I thought this was kind of still up in the air, but as I'm reading through this article further down, it's sounding like they're giving confirmation. They believe that this was in fact a cyber attack. Additionally, you have to have a lot of resources devoted to addressing this, and it can also prevent us from doing investigations. Several cyber attacks targeting 911 systems have taken down the services in recent years, one of which in 2017 paralyzed 911 centers in more than a dozen states. A spokesperson for the Federal Communications Commission told DailyMail.com that we are aware of reports of 911 related outages, and we are currently investigating. Wow. There you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will continue to keep you up to date on this as we're receiving word that this happened across various states, millions impacted by this, not able to call 911 for several hours, various services disconnected. And we had originally heard, no, not a cyber attack, but it feels like that's their default answer now. We're hearing all of the time, they're saying, not a cyber attack, not a cyber attack. Then information coming out later, well, actually, it might have been, maybe it was, and then they're saying, no, it wasn't, but we're also just going to give you some identity theft protection software services as well, just in case something comes up, because maybe your information was leaked. Absolutely incredible. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, as we've been receiving these warnings for quite some time. And in addition to that, things have been intensifying as well in the Middle East. And I shared with you the video footage of what had come out, and also yesterday the warnings of when the retaliation for Israel will be coming. So if you missed that, check out that live stream I did yesterday. We got some updates as to when Israel will be hitting Iran. So if you want to get the latest on that, check that out right after this as well. But you guys, let me know your thoughts. I see we've got 1,250 people on with me live today, April the 18th. Hit that like button for me if I could get 100 more likes if you haven't done so yet and you appreciate the updates. We can get that up to 750. Also hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. And I'm seeing somebody saying something about North Korea. Yeah, there's a lot of tensions all over the U.S. right now. China, North Korea, Iran, everything that's taking place right now. Somebody saying get LifeLock protection. Yeah, get something to make sure that you're taken care of. No, it wasn't a cyber attack. You people are scared, says Lou. Now, Lou, originally we had heard that it wasn't. Now we've got reports. They're linked in the description for you. Check them out, saying that it was. And I was a little not sure either. Cyber attack, not a cyber attack. The information coming out now, and officials, what we're hearing, their quotes, it's sounding like they're saying that they believe that it was. So I don't know. We will see. I will keep you up to date. And as I mentioned, an article saying it wasn't and an article saying it was, both linked in the description for you to reference as well. So that way you can just go ahead and take the information here on the channel. I just provide the raw information for you to go ahead and see. I report it. Then you can go ahead and make your determinations, your opinions, your guesses from the information that I provide. Just simply reporting for you the news. Let's see here. We've been vulnerable before. Be prepared, says Steve Piazza. Yes, just be prepared. Scammers and criminals, protect yourself. Get LifeLock against identity theft, says Kiana Ramos. People are saying be prepared for the worst with everything that's going on. They're getting ready. Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying they believe that some of the things that have been unfolding are actually like pre-cyber attacks. They're testing out their abilities before they do an orchestrated, coordinated one, which is some of the warnings that we had heard from the FBI director, Christopher Wray. He had said that they believed that there was going to be a major cyber attack coming. They keep sounding the alarms. They continually warning. A lot of people, I feel like, are starting to get numb to it. They're starting to say like, oh, we keep hearing this. Nothing's happened so far. I think that we should stay vigilant. If you agree with me, put a 1. You think that, or if you think nothing is going to happen and that they're just sounding the alarms, maybe it's because, as we saw recently, FBI Director Wray asking for more money, more funds, and maybe trying to cause alarm to get more funding, put a 2. But if you believe that something is coming, put a 1. I'd be curious to see how many people believe what is taking place here, that there is potential cyber attacks coming. And I've seen a lot of people saying, yes, they believe that there are cyber attacks. And a lot of people as well, as I mentioned, concerned about World War III, saying that we are already in the midst of that. And we had heard warnings that cyber attacks were likely going to be a major part of World War III, because even right now, with the retaliation that's going to come from Israel for what unfolded over the weekend with the largest drone attack in history, with Iran hitting Israel, we had heard that one of the options for retaliation by Israel was likely going to be cyber attacks, taking things down, messing up systems, causing economic hardship. So we will see. John Wayne Causey saying that there was a hack on YouTube the other day. You know, I did notice the other day I tried to hop on to go live and I could not get on, and I heard people were having trouble, but I didn't hear if that was actually something that was a cyber attack or any issues. But if I get more information, I will be sure to share and let you know. Skymaster messages are still going on right now, says Steve, or says Andrew Krigbaum. All right, thank you for that. I'll go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see here. I put my Father God, I'm guessing first, says TLG. Thank you for that. Same here on the YouTube, says Lisa Simpson Jewelry Channel. Yeah, there was a couple issues the other night. Not really sure what that was, but I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Our Wi-Fi is acting up, says Sonia Anderson. Yeah, I've actually been experiencing that myself today, like having some connection issues. So not sure if there's going to be issues with that as well. So, man, I don't know. It just seems like there's been so many warnings and so many people are staying ready. We will see. I will keep you guys up to date on anything that comes. But a lot of them we're hearing coming from various different sources. Some of them we're hearing from China. Some of them could be various groups related to Iran. So we've got and also Russia, which are essentially our main enemies right now. Iran, who is getting backing from Russia and support for what's going on, Russia attacking Ukraine and China with Taiwan, all of those threatening the United States and other nations that are our allies right now. So things are without a doubt very tense. And we've heard a lot of warnings coming out from the FBI. They said it has never been as bad as it is right now, that things can be getting very serious. So yeah, I will keep you guys up to date on that. Now, do me a favor. We've got almost 1,400 people on with me live, 1,367 people. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And again, for those of you that are hopping on a little bit late, major nationwide 911 outages hit, and millions were affected, left without emergency services. Originally, we had heard that there was no ties to any malicious activity or cyber attacks. Now updates coming out saying that it was likely caused by a cyber attack, and the statements coming out from officials making it sound like they are leaning towards we actually were hit by a cyber attack that was taking down 911 services. Now, originally, as I mentioned, they had said that it was likely a cable that was cut for a company that provides the ability for the lines to be connected for the 911 services. Now they're saying no, that it didn't line up because a lot of the ones that went out, when they went out, some of them were not provided service, like the ones in Texas from that company where the cables were cut. So they're saying it actually does look like it could have been a cyber attack. Now, this has not been confirmed, but from the articles that I have linked in the description, they're saying it sounds very likely like it was, and the language being used by experts, by the various people here in the articles, they're saying it sounds like it likely was. Now, again, not confirmed, but as more information comes out, I will make sure to keep you guys up to date on this. Now, do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't done so. 25 more likes. We can get 1,000 likes right now already. That would be insane. We've got over 1,400 people on with me, 1,439, with this news coming out that 911 outages across the United States, 4 various states were hit. Major outages leaving millions without ability to contact local authorities. They experienced major outages, it says, as law enforcement agencies across 4 states were left scrambling following reports of major 911 outages, leaving millions unable to contact those authorities late on Wednesday. That was Nebraska, Nevada, South Dakota, and Texas, originally saying that there was no malicious activity. They believe it was a physically cut fiber wire while a company was installing a pole. Now we're hearing no, it likely was a cyber attack. And this comes, as I mentioned, as just a couple of months ago, Wednesday outages had come on the heels of widespread AT&T outages back in February that left thousands without service across multiple states. And the impacts said that some of them were not able to call 911 as well. The carrier said that it was a processing error, not a cyber attack. However, AT&T providing for all the people that were impacted, they said also they have the ability to have identity theft protection, providing them for a year's long worth if stuff was compromised. So yeah, saying it's not, but then providing you with additional support just in case it was. And now we're kind of hearing the same thing with what unfolded over the last 24 hours with the 911 outages. First hearing it wasn't, now we're hearing it very likely was. So, man, and this comes, as I mentioned, with all of the issues currently that we've been having with the FBI saying that there will be cyber attacks coming to the U.S., not if, but when. So make sure that you and your family are taken care of. Don't be scared. Be prepared. I always say here in the channel, we provide the information to equip you with the knowledge. Knowledge is power of what is going on. And then you can take the active steps, whatever you see fit. If you feel like this is not something you're concerned about, then that's fine. If you think it is, then go ahead and provide you and yourself with the preparations necessary so you are not afraid, not scared, but you are prepared. Lisa Hendrick says, thank you for doing all the heavy lifting for us. God bless. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that a ton, Lisa. Sharon says, good afternoon, Steve Ram and everyone. Carbon Eye says, congrats on the subs. Thanks. Yes, I've seen the congrats from a lot of people. We just hit 500,000 on the channel. Thank you for all the support. I hope that the channel is helpful. I will continue to do my best to keep you guys up to date on everything so you know exactly what's going on. So appreciate that and appreciate the support, you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's see here. I'm doing super chat and never lets me, says Dennis Clark. I'm not really sure how the super chat works. I think on the chat thing, there's like a face, there's like a dollar bill and a plus. I think that it's the dollar bill one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not there though. Let's see here. Jesus is my rock, says, hey, Steve. Beautiful the Gate says, love you, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Andrew Craig Baum saying congrats on the subscribers. Thank you. Joanne sending trophies. How to contact you regarding attacks is keep walking 454 test. Yes. So if you want to contact me directly, I always recommend that people do so on Instagram at Steve Ram 3, all one word, Steve Ram, and then put a 3 on the end. That is my official Instagram. That is the only one. There's a lot of ones out there pretending to be me, trying to scam people. Don't fall for it. I've got a TikTok, Steve Ram 3, but I don't really respond to any messages on there. Instagram, Steve Ram 3, the best and only way to contact me if you want to send me any information or reach out to me. Red Dead Rasta says, you're a legend, Steve. Thank you so much. Let's see here. There's always trolls, says NYPD 623. Yes. At least I have a sense of humor, says Hugo. Somebody must be arguing in the comments. Thank you. Love you, says Kat and Cynthia. Thank you, says Keep Walking. You guys are so welcome. Thank you so much for the real news, Steve. Appreciate it, says Dean Sam. You are welcome, Dean. You have to have a sense of humor with Brandon's office, says Paul Wells. Legends, says Eraser. Keep up the good work, says Jason Price. Thank you, guys. I will continue to keep you up to date. Do me a favor. You haven't done so yet. Hit that like button to stay up to date. Subscribe. And as more information comes out, I will keep you guys up to date. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Resources linked in the description below. And to hear about the latest and the retaliations from Israel with Iran, check out the live that I did yesterday evening. But with that being said, you guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.